Hi, my name is Nikita Nath and I'm one of the owners of the Ortinola Estate in Maracas Valley, St. Joseph. So we're a family-run business. We do tours, we do chocolate making, we have our own cocoa estate. We are also a heritage building because the Great House is about 150 years old. You can come here for a conference or an event such as a wedding, and we of course have honey and other products we do on the estate. So the Great House has an amazingly rich history, being an old Cadbury cocoa estate, and we're here today to talk to you about some of our chocolates. It actually started 25 years ago when my family was looking to get a pony for me. And instead of a few acres, they found a couple hundred acres. And we came upon the Ortinola Estate that had been abandoned for maybe 50 or 60 years. So I did get a pony for a few months, and the old Great House that we found, we actually then had to find a way to make the estate make some money. So the pony went, and we took a loan and restored the Great House over 2.5 years. The Great House itself is actually about 150 years old, so we had to take down each board. My dad did this work, sanded them down and put them back up. So most of the wood is actually original inside the house. We found the estate, we fixed it up, and we opened, despite people thinking that it wasn't going to work. And we've been successfully open for the last 20 years, which we're really proud of. It's very much a family-run estate. My dad and mom work with me, but I have the best job as the tour guide and chocolate maker. So when we got here, there was really very little to work with. We started the event business from scratch. So of course we made a few mistakes along the way, but we then diversified. In 2012, we planted 6,000 Trinitario cocoa trees on the estate, which had been abandoned again for a really long time. And we then got into cocoa production. We started beehives, and we now have honey at the estate. And after the trees took about 3 to 4 years to start to bear, of course, we started to experiment with a local dark chocolate. It took me about 50 batches to get it right, but we started to make our own chocolates. We rebranded the packaging. It's won a Silver Addy Award. We started hydroponics last year, 2023. So we have tomatoes, pimentos, and we also have a lot of citrus fruit. Name it, we probably have it available on the estate. We also do events, and I think we've now come on the tourism map as somewhere to visit when you visit Trinidad and Tobago. So chocolate making from tree to bar is a lot of work, and visitors will always hear me say that, look, it's all done by hand, and the farming part really is. It all starts when we planted our cocoa trees, 12 years ago. And cocoa trees, if you plant them today, it will take at least 4 years before you start to see the fruit. So let's be real, you still need to make some money while you're waiting on your trees to mature. I mean, adult trees, they are adults at 8 years old. That's a long time to see a return on your investment for a farmer. Luckily here at Ortinola, not only do we pick, but we add value by doing tours and chocolates, helping us to retain the value of that bean, because farmers might get up to 7% of the value of a commercial bar. So what makes Ortinola special? It starts from the tree. We're about to take a walk into our 6,000 tree cocoa estate just in front of me to go pick some ripe pods to turn into chocolate. Let's go. What's really important to know that in a cocoa estate, the cocoa trees come from the rainforest, so they like shade. And those beautiful green trees are the immortal or Madre de Cacao trees. They are called Madre de Cacao not because you get baby cocoa, but because they are some of the best type of shade trees. Aha, there's a cornbird flying behind you. And the truth is, those trees drop their leaves so that soil has leaf litter, but the roots also provide nitrogen back into the soil, making it really great because cocoa is a very hungry crop. These are not of nutrition to get that thick husk. I know, boy, we just walk in case. I'll bring the cup. I know. I'm sure by the time you reach it, it will stop. All right, so let me just explain that. Whew. So we just entered the cocoa estate and we're ready to film. we get a sprinkle. So guess what? We have cocoa beans in the sun, so we have to look out for rain. And I'm pretty sure by the time we get there, the rain would have stopped. And this is the reality of drying cocoa beans in a tropical country. So we always have to keep an eye on the weather so that the beans don't get wet. And they're getting wet. One came attached to a branch. So we normally grab a wheelbarrow and do all of this, but I can't stand up and look at it while filming, so I'm just going to throw some in. Very happy to see such a big harvest because the last 3 years have been terrible. Less than half of what we normally get. We kind of wonder, is it climate change? Is it a crop cycle? What could it be? Wow, I'm so happy to see all these trees bearing like crazy. Okay. All right, so that is a perfect pod, that juicy white pulp. I'm going to actually eat one of those beans. It tastes really amazing. You want to make sure that there's no rot inside. Let me just eat that. Sorry, shameless. Yeah, you can actually eat this. It's really good. It's sweet. Some guests say it tastes like chenet, like lychee, but it's nothing like chocolate. And hang on, look at this. Inside, it's purple. Yeah, does not look anything like chocolate. So it's really tasty, and I'll just eat one more for quality control. I wish you could try this. Ooh, acid. I'm actually happy I haven't smelt a ferment for a while. Fermenting, yeah, in these boxes, we just refurbished them. Hot, feel it, it's hot. Fermenting, you can hit 50-degree temperatures in there. You feel that heat? And smell, oh, you'll get a hot vinegar. Oh, delicious. It's really an experience. Take me a second, the vinegar. This is what they look like. That is fermenting, and you see how all the white pulp has disappeared. And in fact, not only do you have white pulp disappear, the inside is a little more deep purple. That's almost brown. These beans are going to come out tomorrow. So plantain and banana leaves were used not just for insulation, but of course they have yeast on them as well. And you want that yeast for the fermenting, highly likely. They're also free. So they really keep, if there's a lot of airspace in the box, you don't get that heat staying in as much. And that heat in fermentation can reach, the highest we've gotten is 45 degrees Celsius on like day 3, 4, and 5 of fermenting. And those plantain leaves are really important. And of course, we use wood. If you use metal here, it will turn green. Trust me, we've tried. There we are, we're opening the cocoa house so sun can dry out these beans. One of us will just spread the beans to make them nice and thin. We're actually leaving this space here for the new batch of beans to come out. So this is made of wood. You can push the beans aside, give yourself a little space. You can flatten them back out. Okay, very good. You can step on the beans. These beans are really amazing. They are dried 100% by sunlight, nothing artificial. And they are extremely, extremely aromatic. So you can actually come and eat these beans off the drying floor. They taste that good, not just because of our Trinitario trees, but our amazing soil and microclimate here. And the fermenting and drying is really, really important as well for a really high quality bean. After these beans are fully dry, we then take them to our chocolate factory to convert them into our amazing chocolate. So we're about to show you how we temper and mold chocolate. We actually have a machine that does this, but when you come to visit us for a chocolate making tour, you can make your own chocolate, and you've got to do it the old-fashioned way, by hand. So this chocolate might look nice, it looks ready, but it isn't. We have to temper the chocolate by adding some cold and tempered chocolate to the rest of your bowl. The cold chocolate is actually going to help the rest of the chocolate to set and to crystallize. I may have put a little too much in there, but it's really important for a smooth and shiny chocolate. What's going to happen is, if you could feel this bowl, the chocolate is really hot. And we need to cool this from 42 degrees Celsius down to about, let's say, 31.5. You can use a thermometer, but if you've been doing it long enough, my thermometer is the back of my hand. We add a little more chocolate. I'll show you some hand tempering on the table, but that is just too messy for today. So here goes. It's going to be messy, but that's how it is. So really quickly, we have about 5 minutes before this is actually totally solid. Trust me. Yes, we can rewarm chocolate that isn't tempered properly, but you definitely don't want to do that stage because it's going to take you a whole other hour to finish. So we put some of our chocolate out. We want to give it a little shake. Spread it evenly, quickly, and firmly. If you want to add some decorations, I'm going to be giving these to my 4-year-old. Sprinkles are always pretty fun. And I think I'll leave one plain for me. That's it. You tap them a little bit, get them ready, maybe some more sprinkles. They're ready. Now, if you have a look underneath, you still have to wait for these bunnies to contract and pull away. And how do we get this bar out? 1, 2, 3, and flip. Wow. There are your shiny chocolate bars. I'm very lucky. I always grew up loving nature. I think the reason we got the estate was so Dad and I could just enjoy being outside. We love the outdoors. I'd be walking in the bush, and that's what I love to do. I love nature. Anyone who knows me knows that this person likes outside. And I think doing what I do, not only do I get to actually use my science background, developing fermentation protocols, figuring out recipes, roasting matrices, things like that. I love chocolate. I mean, most of us do like chocolate. And I get free chocolate every day. If that wasn't an incentive, I don't know what would be. One of the best things for me is the sense of pride and achievement I have day to day in getting high quality chocolate to people. But more importantly, in tours, having visitors really understand how much work goes into these beans to get them into chocolate. Trinidad and Tobago has such amazing cocoa history. It's so empowering to see kids come, dance the cocoa, learn about why Trinidad and Tobago has some of the best in the world, and get hugs when they leave. I mean, I love what I do. It's so strange because when I started, I was thinking, great, I'll never have to speak in public, and here I am leading tours. But it's very, very satisfying. What also helps me to keep going is people. I have some really great ladies with me, helping me do tours, helping in the chocolate lab. I'm really, really lucky to have them with me. I've seen people sit on the couch and be like, oh my gosh, that's what's in chocolate, and really feel or understand how much work goes into a bar. I think that's a pretty amazing thing to say I can do. So we have a few products available at the estate, and this is what the bars actually look like. We're really proud of them. And we have our large bars in 60% and 70%, which is my personal favorite. 70% with sea salt. You can find them on Carib Shopper along with a couple other flavors, but definitely the 70% is by far my favorite. If you're in the US and Canada and you've asked me before, how can we get your chocolates? I got a request yesterday. You can find them on Carib Shopper. Super easy, super convenient to get straight to you. And it takes all the headache out of us so we can spend time doing what we love best, producing cocoa and chocolate for you to enjoy. If you need to find us, you can find us on social media, both Instagram and Facebook at Ortinola Great House. The number is there on our website, which is www.ortinola.com. And of course, you can go onto our Carib Shopper store online. Finally, if you need to get in touch with us, visits are via advanced reservation only. So feel free to reach out to us in case. And that's pretty much what we do.